Good morning. Happy Monday. Well, I'm giving this message as much for myself as I am for you today because I'm kind of walking through a fearful process for me that I don't want to face. And I'm going to do it after I get out of out of this message. I'm going to post the message and then get to work doing what I have been avoiding doing for a long time. I've got these I'm really into like these ghost shows and stuff like that. So I guess it's because I don't know, I just find it all fascinating. This whole other realm that could exist out there. So I always kind of like watching these ghost shows because they do the work for me, so I don't have to. Like they go out and they explore these haunted houses and this, that, and the other. But I know I'm not alone because I know there's lots of people out there who are really interested in this and the fact that if we believe there's, our loved ones after they die go to heaven into the spirit realm, I want to learn more about the spirit realm. Maybe it's because of losing Amy and stuff. I don't know, but I want to understand. I want to understand it a little better. And so a lot of times frequently in these ghost shows they go into they're always looking for answers. So that's I think another reason I like them. They're always looking for answers and they always go into the crawl spaces if they have to. They're willing to go into like the dirtiest, nastiest, most scary place to find the answers. And like frequently, like I was watching one paranormal lockdown the other night, and literally they got like the spirit box session going, which is like this little box where they can like supposedly communicate with people on the other side. And they were in this like really super haunted house, and all of a sudden on there it said basement, and they're like, "Oh, basement," and then you hear like this. It was a female voice saying basement, and then hear this other voice saying stop, and you're like, "Oh, there's something going on here," and then you hear it go. The other female voice go dig, and the big male evil voice goes shut up. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, there was drama from the other side going on. So anyway, Nick Groff goes in and he like goes underneath the basement and he puts on this Tyvek suit and just like crawls in the worst place. I'm sitting there watching it going, ugh, oh, how could he do that? But he does it and he goes in there and he gets dirty and he eventually finds answers because there are literally like human remains underneath the basement. So talk about creepy coincidences, if you want to call it that. But so then they had to turn it over to the police from there. But this ties in. Stick with me here. This ties in with my message that I'm going to be giving today. Lots of times I have to be willing to go into that creepy crawl space to get answers for myself, and it's not always easy. In recovery, 12-step recovery, there's the fourth step where you have to like go into that creepy crawl space, find the answers that you have been kind of avoiding by facing some uncomfortable situations and things that have happened in your past caused by self, you know, or, maybe somebody did something to you and you are legitimately, a victim, but it's like the forgiveness is holding you back. Whatever the case, fourth steps are vital for 12-step recovery. It has to happen because that's a huge turning point. And that's usually the point where most people say, I'm out. I don't want to go in that creepy crawl space. Thank you, though. Thanks. I'm going to just keep going like I've been going. And so as you continue in 12-step recovery, you're always constantly looking for answers. And so you always have to kind of be willing to face your fears and face your flaws and your character defects that keep arising and popping up. So mine recently has been, I got my little haunted audio ghost tours that I do. And they've been doing, for the most part, they were at one point. I had like 5-star reviews, and then I got hit with something, and I didn't know what. It's like something knocked my reviews down. I'm like, uh-oh, what happened? What happened? I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And then finally, I relaunched one of my tours, the Charlotte tour, and I suspect something's not right with it. And I could look in the creepy crawl space of the reviews and find possibly what's going on, but I don't want to. I don't want to go in that creepy crawl space. However, I think I need to go there. I think I need to go looking for answers. But it doesn't mean I go dressed like this. I put on my my spiritual Tyvek suit with my goggles, which is me doing basically this morning I did a fear inventory, taking a look at, okay, what's my fear about doing this, looking at these negative reviews, and coming to my answers for that. It all ties back to basically emotional sobriety and not trusting in God's, plan for my life, and the gifts that He's been given to me, and putting that trust in other people's hands, which is not the way I need to do. Regardless of how whatever the reviews turn out to be, I've got to follow what I believe my higher power wants for me, and not necessarily any sort of negative feedback I need to use as a gift to help me grow. So, in order to grow, you got to know. And I'm going to have to know what's going on so I can, find it, and then I can fix it if I can. And if I can't fix it, sometimes fixing it might be, if somebody just plain didn't like it, then what can I do about that? But if he keeps seeing like the same thing over and over again, like a pattern of people saying, "Oh, this is wrong," I'll know where the problem is, and I can say, "Okay, let me take a look at that and see what I can do to fix that problem." So I don't have to necessarily get these, negative reviews, and use it as a gift rather than a curse, as a fact-finding mission versus pride, either pride in reverse or pride full on, build my ego. Got to take ego, I got to put it to the side, got to find the facts. And that's the same thing with 12-step recovery, or if you're hiding something that's like a skeleton in your closet that you don't want to face, it's there, but it's just sitting there, and it's there waiting to be acknowledged and looked at and found, so it can be free. That's what you got to do. Be willing to go in that crawl space and dig and find out, find that little skeleton hidden under the basement, and be free. I'm no, I'm gonna. I'm specifically didn't want to do it before I did this so I could talk myself more into the process with this message. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to, after I get done with this, and maybe next week I'll report on the findings. But I gotta face the skeleton, hidden in the basement, and look and put on my spiritual Tyvek suit, which is God. Have God go with me and before me and help me through the process and shield me from my ego, so that I can truly take a look and see if there's something going on that I can handle. And you can tie directly back to the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. So I can't necessarily change people's opinion. Some people are going to love it, some people are going to not love it. Courage to change the things I can. Be willing to go into that crawl space and look and dig and see if there's something that I need to make a change on, so I can stop having to worry about getting negative reviews, and the wisdom to know the difference. So what can I change and what can I change? Can I not change? And then just move forward. And that all ties into acceptance, acceptance, and on accepting whatever, you know. I walk in God's light today and not the negative reviews sitting there hiding in the lurking in the shadows ready to eat me alive because they're just sitting there and I don't want to carry them with me anymore. So I got to face the skeleton in the basement and grow. So that's all I got. So if you're do you have something that you're fearful of that you've kind of been putting on the back burner? You don't want to face it. You're afraid of what will happen. Well, be willing to go into that creepy crawl space to get your answers, but don't go alone. Put on your spiritual suit. Go with God and get the answers. It's not meant to beat you up. It's meant to build you up. So do that. It will only help you in the long run. And like I said, to grow, you got to know. So just keep learning more about yourself, and you can walk a little lighter today, a little happier, and not have be weighted down by the burden of whatever's kind of weighing your soul down today. All right. Well, that's all I got. If you're enjoying these, subscribe, hit that little subscribe button wherever it is. And I will look forward to seeing you next week. I got to go do some digging. Bye.